FDA. Tell me why albendazole is a treatment-only status in the US. If the FDA allows Nexium, that's esomeprazole, to be sold over the counter, despite its role in triple therapy for H. pylori, the argument that albendazole must remain prescription-only treatment because of resistance is misuse and inconsistent. President Trump is intentional in bringing down the cost of healthcare in the US. And it is just noble that we support him. The industry must also make his work easy. Now let's take Nexium as over-the-counter. The risks are using Nexium, which is a PPI, without medical oversight, can mask gastric cancer, promote H. pylori. It can promote H. pylori antibiotic resistance and lead to long-term complications like fractures, a kidney disease, or a C. difficile infection, which is very common actually in hospitals. And yet, it is still considered acceptable for over-the-counter sale because patients can self-recognize, mark that word, heartburn, and instructions limit use. In contrast, a single dose of albendazole for pinworm and other intestinal worms has proven safety in mass global campaigns. This happened worldwide, and rare side effects in short courses and public health benefit by reducing transmission. And these are records that FDA has, and these are projects that FDAs have access to. If stewardship and masking disease were truly disqualifiers, then PPIs like Nexium should never be OTC. But since they are, equity demands reconsidering why a safe curative parasitic like albendazole remains treatment only in the US. The bottom line is here, the logic is inconsistent. Nexium OTC as an OTC carries broader resistance and masking risk than albendazole for intestinal helminths, yet albendazole is kept prescription only, where it could actually safely improve access and reduce infection. You see, for common intestinal ailments, especially pinworm, the safety profile is favorable and it has been documented in African states, in Mexico, in the UK. So safety profile is favorable. Dosing is simple and symptoms are self-recognizable. So insisting on a doctor's prescription imposes costs and delay that prolong transmission and worsen equity. A pharmacy dispense model will work with a strict pack sizes, pregnancy and neuro-ophthalmic red flags, and clear follow-up instruction. This preserves safety and stewardship while unlocking timely access to healthcare. Keep prescription for maybe complication or tissue worms like neurocysticercosis or echinococcosis. Those ones now you can keep prescription. But enable pharmacy to supply uncomplicated STH. This is the risk balance public health survey approach. Now, let me tell you how much it will cost you in the US to get albendazole. The estimated cost to get albendazole in the US. Now, a doctor's visit, a primary care or urgent care visit, is between $100 to $300 without insurance. But even if you have the insurance, somebody is still paying. The insurance will have to pay this, and that can make the premium to go so high. If you do a telehealth consult, that may go lower, but it's between $75 to $150. But not always accepted for parasitic disease management because there's proof. You must have proof that you have that condition. So you have to go through diagnostic tests, which is often required for this drug albendazole to be prescribed. Now, you need a stool for over and parasites. This 1P test is $100 to $250 per sample, and you require 3 samples. That's now between $300 to $750. Need a blood CBC and liver function test, which is between $75 to $200. For neurocysticercosis, If it's suspected, you need a CT scan, a brain CT scan, which is $500 to $1,500, or MRI, which is for the brain, which is $1,200 to $3,000. But these are not ordered for pinworm and roundworm. These are standardized tests for those tissue or whatever worm infestation. So prescription drug, the cost of albendazole in the US, that's the 200 milligram. You want to hear the cost? Okay, the market price for this drug is between $200 to $400 per tablet of 200 milligrams. As of 225, some discounted pharmacy, the least generic, the generic albendazole is between $25 to $100, the generic albendazole. The typical regimen for albendazole pinworm is actually 400 milligram once. You repeat in 2 weeks, or 2 tablets, which is $50 to $200. For neurocysticercosis, it's 400 milligram twice daily for 8 to 30 days. That's around 32 to 120 tablets, costing between $8,000 to $12,000. Now, follow-up and monitoring. If prescribed longer course, then there must be a follow-up and monitoring. So there's a repeat blood work, which the LFTs, the CBCs, which is about $75 to $200. The total estimate of out-of-pocket without insurance in the scenario in this case is between $300 and $800. That's for simple pinworm visit. But for soil-transmitted worms, the Ascaris lumbricoides, the hookworm, the visit plus the stool plus the test, which is 2 to 4 tablets, will cost you between $500 to $1,200. But then for the neurocysticercosis, which is a visit plus the imaging plus the labs plus the 30-course treatment, is between $5,000 to $15,000. Jesus, son of Nazareth. Now, this proves why you need to have this one. In other countries like in Kenya, India, Mexico, or UK, the same 400 milligram tablet is $0.20 to $2 and is often available over the counter via pharmacist. In the US, a family treating pinworm must spend hundreds of dollars for a simple infection that is self-diagnosable and easily treatable. Actually, for you to get this drug, the system imposes a doctor visit and a lab overhead, even when the safety risk is negligible. I think by proving through this one here, this is a strong argument for reform. Please, we can manage this by making life very easy for our population. And you know, most of the diseases comes from the GIT level, especially worms in the GIT level cause a lot of imbalances that invites a ton of diseases. So FDA, please, let's have albendazole over the counter. I've developed a policy document that's going to be on your table soon. Please reconsider it. Please reconsider that. Thank you so much.